Hello and welcome to a Monster Mechanics bonus episode where we're going to be picking our own apocalypse.
All right.
All right. So this year has been such a motherfucker.
It has been a year. Yeah.
I think the only the only proper way to send it out is for us to pick like what's the last thing that could come through and actually just destroy the world. Like that's the only thing that's left in these last couple of weeks.
And the obvious answer is monster apocalypse.
Exactly. So we were gonna talk about if we had to choose what monster apocalypse we'd want, which one would we go for? Zach, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So I was thinking kaiju. I feel like Godzilla rising up out of the ocean is just it's the perfect send off for the year that this has been.
Yes. Nothing could be more.
Zombies have been overdone, so let's get some kaiju out there.
Yes, just like looking up into the sky and seeing a big ass monster. That sounds very 2020.
And then we can kick 2021 off with what was the Pacific Rim?
Yes, yeah. That's exactly. I was thinking there's a guy in Japan and there's another one in Austin, Texas, who are like building giant robots to fight. So we just need to call those guys up.
Is that still going on?
I know they challenged each other and that they were still both in like production on working on it. I don't think they've had their fight yet. But yeah, they're definitely working on it.
This is a total sidebar, but there was when I was back in high school back in 2000.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an old man. There was a company that was like, we're going to build mechs, and their website is still around, and like they've made progress, and like it's just I think it's a front company or something. But
oh man, instead of having a laundromat or like a failing restaurant or something like that as your front, I think that the mech building company is a much better use of your time because maybe you'll accidentally build mechs.
What are we gonna do with all this front money? Well, we just accidentally made a mech.
So if you're saying kaiju attack, then like you want specifically Godzilla, or would you have some other particular kaiju you'd be looking for?
I'm open to other brands of kaiju, but Godzilla was the one that sprung to mind.
He is the king of the monsters. So he's got to make an appearance. I'm not entirely sure that as big and powerful as Godzilla is, I'm not sure that he is enough for the whole world though. So I think you'd end up with an ensemble cast of kaiju.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, is just bust them all out.
By comparison, mine is still definitionally is still a kaiju, but is instead the classic Jormungandr, the world serpent.
Oh yeah, kick off Ragnarok.
Yes, Ragnarok. I guess, and then by association, you're probably pulling Fenrir in and some of the other monsters from Norse. But yeah, by legend, he's supposed to let go of his own tail, and apparently my house has gone into night mode and it's gotten all moody in here. Give me 1 second. Hey, Google, turn on Scott Delta.
I just thought you were being haunted.
Sure. Turning Scott Delta on.
Thank you, Google. All right. I was talking about, okay, so traditionally Jormungandr is going to let go of his own tail, which is normally he holds in his own mouth, and then wriggle up onto land and start spraying acid everywhere. And traditionally is big enough to encircle all of Midgard, which is our world. So he's a big boy, and I think he could probably handle the world on his own.
Yeah, I think he's got that.
And the Norse apocalypse, the Ragnarok, that's just one of the most metal of all apocalypses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I especially like it because it's one of the few traditional apocalypses that is hopeful. All of the gods and giants kill each other, and then it's the world starts back over with like just some new guys. Like they built into their legend that it was going to keep going on in a cycle, which I really love.
Yeah.
I think I'd also can I have an honorable mention as well?
Oh, absolutely. I've got one in mind as well.
Okay, cool. Well, so I just talked about Jormungandr. So tell me about your honorable mention.
So I was thinking Pokemon.
I would say my number one flaw is being a perfectionist.
Oh no, she thinks I'm talking to her. Hey, Google, stop.
Did I get the job?
No, you didn't get the job.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't know what I said that set her off.
Our special guest tonight is Google Home.
Well, at least we've got, I was worried that we weren't going to have stuff for enough bloopers and stuff for next year, but I guess we're starting off with a good one.
Oh, be sad if this doesn't make it into the episode.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Before Ms. Google so patiently interrupted us, what was it that you were saying?
I was going to say, sorry. I was going to say, my other idea was just throw out some Pokemon in there. Just suddenly the world is overrun by tiny little monsters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially, I mean, like some of those, like there's several of the Pokemon, like the unique kind that are like just basically gods who can who could do all kinds of damage and like remake the world and stuff. I guess if we found out that all of our animals were Pokemon that like with like the Pokemon level intelligence, I guess that's also kind of an apocalypse too.
I was more thinking like less the godlike Pokemon and just everyone's gnawed to death by a bunch of Bidoofs.
Bidoofs. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so mine's, I thought, did you ever read the Charles Stross book Accelerando?
I did.
For any of our readers who haven't, the basic premise of that science fiction novel is like their world undergoing a rapid acceleration of technology, essentially leading up to the singularity, and after which like life is completely unlike it was to begin with. And I have to say, I would welcome that right about now. If like we develop some AI that can start making itself smarter, and like suddenly within our lifetime, we all are overtaken by technology and robots, and then we all are uploaded to a hive mind.
And lobsters, if we're following each other around.
Yeah. Man, like, you get to decide what kind of virtual world you live in, or what kind of body you're going to have, or if you want to meld with, other intelligences and make conglomerates. I'm down. Like, whatever. This weird's been weird enough. That might as well happen.
Why not?
Okay. Well, on that note, I think we're going to leave you guys for this week. Check us out next week for our holiday episode with special guest Jeff Stormer of the Party of One podcast. We are going to be talking about Santa.
In the meantime, hit us up if you've got any ideas about what monster you think should kick off the end of 2020.
All right, bye.
Till next time.
Thank you for listening to this Monster Mechanics mini episode. If you'd like to help someone find this amazing podcast, head on over to either your iTunes store or Podchaser and give us a rating and review. It really helps people find us. Or even better, you could head on over to patreon.com/monsterpod and kick us a few bucks. There's only one reward tier so far, and that's to have your name read out during these credits. Monster Mechanics is produced and edited by me, Scott Paladin, and hosted by myself and my best friend, Zach Jaquays. All of the ideas produced during this podcast are released under a do what the f*** you want public license.